Hello everyone at Pro Electric. My name is Chris Stinson. I run a small web design and SEO firm here in London, Ontario. This video is just to give you a little bit of free advice on how to make your website better. First thing I noticed, and this is the biggest thing nowadays, is that your website is not mobile friendly. It does not show up on a cell phone or an iPad properly. That's a very big deal nowadays. I'm sure you can see everyone in a coffee shop or a restaurant or wherever, everyone has their face buried in their phone. And if your website isn't performing on a mobile device, then it doesn't rank very well with Google. Most of my advice today is going to be on how to rank your site in Google to ultimately get your business found more and quicker and ultimately make you more money. So I don't mind the layout of your site. It's pretty simple. It's not cluttered, which is good. However, it's not mobile friendly. Also, clicking through your website, I've noticed that there's not a lot of authoritative content on your website, and that's the number one thing for Google and the other major search engines, is that your site needs to be more authoritative. And by that I mean you need more text, you need more descriptions of what you're doing. Seems like you have all of these amazing projects on the go. If you could write more text about what you're doing and about the services that you provide, Google looks at your website and says, this is a very authoritative site, so I'm going to rank it higher, because ultimately Google wants to rank the most logical and authoritative results for any search that they do, that a person does, because they want to sell ads. And if your site's the most authoritative, it's going to come up first, and Google will be able to sell more ads from that search. I have noticed clicking around on your site that there are some errors that pop up, and this is pretty concerning. For example, I've clicked here, up here where it says Pro Electric, in your home page from a button, and I'm getting this error. It's a database error, common when it's a custom site. However, this is really bad. People get on here and they click and they get this error. They're gone. They're off to the next site. It seems to happen kind of randomly. There we go. Just again. I see that you have a session time, and when I hadn't clicked on anything on your website for a couple minutes, and it's timing out, and it's a server setting or a database setting that will time somebody out on your site. However, when you click on something, it should refresh and go to, say, your home page or whatever you're clicking on. It shouldn't give you that ugly error. That's something that you should really look into with your web team. Next thing I want to get into is the actual Google searches. Like I said, your website's okay. It just needs more content, and it needs to be cleaned up with the errors, of course. I would definitely put your address and contact information more prevalent somewhere. So I would have a phone number up here for sure. I would have your contact form, contact us, probably a little more, make it stand out just a little bit more, easier for people to find. Really, that's what they're there for, right? In this business, they're not going to sit and read through page after page after page. They're going to say, I've got, this company looks okay, how do I get a hold of them? I want to contact them. I do not want to get this error that keeps coming up. Something that I would be very concerned about. So phone number for sure, clean up the errors. When I do a Google search, most of your projects look like they're commercial in nature. I do a Google search for commercial electrician, London, Ontario. The first instance that I see your company, you're on page 4. Now, 7 to 8 people never ever go past page 1 on a search. That's the whole cold stats about Google searches. People just do not want to take the time to go page after page after page looking for a company. So 75% to 80% of business is coming from page 1. You are on page 4. Now I know you're a big company. I've done my research. You do quite a bit of business. Obviously that's coming from tenders and different types of bids that you've got the inside track on, or word of mouth, because your website's doing nothing for you. Sorry, but it's not. Being on page 4 will not get you business, so that's of concern. When I do a search on just on electrician in London, Ontario, you don't come up at all in the map section of a Google search. Let me back up a page here for you. So electrician, London, Ontario. Let me just educate you a little bit on what we're looking at here. This is what we call the map pack of a search engine results page, the SERP. This is the organic listings, and this is really where you want to be in organic. And if there is any paid ads, they would come up above this. So in the map for electrician, London, Ontario, you're not in the top 3 and you need to be there, but you really need to be at least listed on this side. And they have 22, I believe, listed, and you're not one of them. So that's really concerning to me too if I'm your business. All of your competitors are listed in here, and you're not, so you're not seeing any business from that. Like I said, you want to be on this page 1. We have Electric Medic. They're doing very well. They're first in maps, first in organic. They're getting clicked on first, way before you, way before First to Call, Barnes, DHT. They're all on page 1 and they will be getting clicks, but number 1, Electric Medic, will be getting hit first. And I'm going to show you why in a second. So that's your Google search engine results page. You're just not being found, and it's because of the lack of authoritative content on your website, the fact that there's errors coming on your website, and the lack of marketing behind it. There's 3 things that will get your site ranked. Again, the first and foremost is authoritative content on your website. The second is citations and link building. And what a citation is a listing of your business name, address, and phone number, a NAP, on the internet. Now, that helps mostly for the map pack, obviously, because the map pack is geographic centric. So the more places that you have your company out there in citation websites and directories, like, you know, the Yellow Pages and Yelp and social media sites like Facebook, all of these things count as a NAP for your business. And you don't have very many. You do have some. You don't have very many. Your competitors are beating you on that, and it's a relatively easy thing to fix, but it's time consuming. But it is a relatively easy thing to fix. The third thing about how to get ranked on Google is just time. So moving on to the organic part of the search, this is completely free down here. If you have a good website, this is where you want to be. If your website is designed properly, this is where you're going to end up. Now, the good part about everything that I've said about your website, and I'm sorry I'm being a little harsh about it, is that your competitors aren't that much better. They are outdoing you, but they're not that much better. And let me show you some proof of that. So I use a tool called SEMrush, and what this does is looks at your website. It looks at organic search, paid search, backlinks, which is a humongous factor when you're trying to rank a site on Google. You have 4 total backlinks, and that's not many at all. And 2 of them are what we call no follow, and 2 are called follow. So no follow links do not count for anything in the Google world. It's not a vote for your website in Google. And it might be a good thing that they're no follow, because it's from a massage salon in Texas. And they have 2 links to it. Now, whether it's accurate or not, I don't know. It's probably 2 links that you should probably try to disavow, which is something that your web team can do for you. And then you have 2 legitimate websites. It looks like it's the same one. One's French, one's English. So really, that's just a listing somewhere. Not very high powered backlinks at all. One of your competitors, DHT, well, you can look at them. They have 10 total backlinks. And again, 10 is not very many, but it's more than you. And Google sees that, and that is votes for that company to end up ahead of you. They've been doing, you can tell they've been doing citations and NAP listings all over the place. They are trying to garner as many backlinks as possible to move their website up ahead of you, and it is there ahead of you. So that's just a little bit of advice. Back to more backlinking. Your Facebook page is, I don't even know if it's an actual page or not, but it is there. But there's nothing on it. Facebook is the second most used web page in the world every day, right behind Google's main search page. As silly as some businesses think that this whole Facebook thing is, it's just an amazing, amazing place to find customers. Like I said, it's the second most used web page on the internet. Something like 1 billion people are using it a day, and that's just crazy. But that's the reality of today. You need to have a Facebook page. You need to have a Google Plus page, and these are humongous votes for you in the eyes of Google. If you click on electrician here, you'll see you have competitors that are doing pretty decent on Facebook, and they will be garnering clients from it because their name's out there. So that really that wraps it up as far as free advice for your website. Do whatever you would like with this information. I hope that you watch the video and that you get something out of it. I would love to have a phone conversation or a face-to-face conversation with anyone there at Pro Electric that wants just a little more advice. We can talk about the services that I provide, obviously. That's the whole point, of course. We're all in this to make a little money and feed our families. So, without any more anything else to say, I'm going to wrap it up. I will send this in an email with my contact information, and I hope that you find it useful. Thanks for taking the time to watch.